With over 90 million records sold, Johnny Cash is one of the most successful and prolific musical artists of all time, and my personal favorite. I'm One Bad Comic, and this is Vinyl Snacks. What's up, vinyl heads? Welcome to Vinyl Snacks. I'm your host, One Bad Comic, and this is my very first episode, guys. Super excited. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate you guys spending a little time with me. Anybody that knows me knows that I love vinyls. Anytime I'm on the road or on tour, I always try to go to a record store and try to find records that I feel like I'm gonna enjoy. So this is pretty much what the podcast is gonna be all about. Is me just pretty much talking about the collection that I have and music that I enjoy, and pretty much just share it with all you guys. So I figured, being the first episode, that I would start off with the very first vinyl record that I ever bought, which is this one right here, Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison. One of my favorite albums of all time, and just generally, and live albums too. There's a lot of great albums out there that are live. You got AC/DC has a really dope one. They're live. I like Rage Against the Machine. Bob Marley's is real good too. But something that stands out about Johnny Cash's live album is that he actually recorded this specific album in Folsom Prison. So he was able to actually record this inside of the prison. It was released in May 6, 1968. So it's definitely been over 50 years since this album was recorded. And to do something like that in that time was pretty radical, for somebody like Johnny Cash, especially a country musical artist that could just jump different genres, go from gospel, and then in the next one he's murdering a girl, which I think is super cool. I mean, not murdering a woman, but just the songs in general. So yeah, I really enjoy this album. There's a lot of interesting songs on this album. It's mostly a slow ballad type record, so it's got a lot of slow songs to it. Which is cool because he did another one too following this one, which was Johnny Cash at San Quentin, which is another album he did in another prison, and that was a little bit more upbeat, more fast paced. But the Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison, a little slower type ballad, which is pretty cool. There's some good songs on here, and it's super cool. Like if you actually get the record. In the back, there's it's a letter written by Johnny Cash about his experience in Folsom in prison, and it's completely handwritten by himself with his signature at the very bottom. So just to read you a little bit of it, it says, "The culture of 1,000 years is shattered with the clanging of the cell door behind you. Life outside behind you immediately becomes unreal. You begin to not care that it exists. All you have with you in the cell is your bare animal instincts." So that's pretty wild, man. I thought that was pretty neat. You guys want to check that out, read the whole thing. What's up, vinyl heads? I hope you guys are enjoying the very first episode of Vinyl Snacks. I want to give a quick shout out to one of my sponsors, NDCT's Studios. They're super awesome. They actually just made some banners for me. I've been working with them for like about a year, and they've been super cool with me. So if you guys want to make any banners, flyers, t-shirts, anything like that, make sure you guys hit them up at ndctees.com. So big shout out to them. Let's go ahead and get back to the fucking episode. Like I said, there's a lot of good songs. Probably my favorite song of the album is probably the last song that he recorded for this one, which is a song called Greystone Chapel. Greystone Chapel was originally a song written by an inmate in prison named Glenn Shirley. Glenn Shirley, I don't know how it got to Johnny Cash. I don't know if it was a guard or somebody, but they got the demo and they got it over to Johnny Cash, and Johnny Cash was able to get his hands on it, and he heard the song. He liked the song so much that he decided to actually record it and put it on the record, which is wild to do, you know what I mean? And Glenn Shirley had no idea what was going on. So the day of the concert, they sat Glenn Shirley in the front row, and Johnny Cash went up, performed his set, and at the very end actually mentions, "Hey, I'm about to do a new song. And it was written by a guy here in prison, and he mentions it was written by Glenn Shirley, and then he proceeds to sing the song, which, I mean, imagine Johnny Cash doing some of your work, and you're just a prisoner there. Like, it was pretty cool, you know. Johnny Cash liked him so much. He thought he was such a good artist and a good songwriter. He actually went to a judge and had him pardoned. The judge pardoned Glenn Shirley from prison, and he got him out. Johnny Cash got this guy out, and Johnny Cash tried to change his life, and he started taking him on the road. He got him to sign a record deal. So Johnny Cash was really, really trying to push for this guy to be an example that you can come out of prison and then do something good with your life, you know. Unfortunately, Glenn Shirley had some demons, and he couldn't sustain life outside of prison. He started relapsing into drugs again, and it just, the relationship began to sour, you know. And at some point, I believe Glenn Shirley started threatening the band members, and it just wasn't working real well. So Johnny Cash had to distance himself from Glenn Shirley, and he was removed from the show and all that stuff. But, you know, unfortunately for Glenn Shirley, at some point when it got really bad for him, he ended up leaving back home, and he grabbed a gun and he shot himself, dude. He committed suicide, which was, it was a pretty sad ending for Glenn Shirley. And I did read and seen some documentaries where Johnny Cash talks about it, and he said he had this guilt about Glenn Shirley killing himself because he thought that if he could have just stayed in the prison, then maybe he would have still been alive today. But, you know, it's a pretty sad story. But again, Greystone Chapel, what a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. And just what a great album in general. I think it was so it took a lot of balls for Johnny Cash to do an album like that. And again, it's one of my favorites. If you ever get a chance, I highly recommend it. I bought this one for about $13. So it's not that expensive, man. And like, again, it's just a classic album you want to have on your collection, you know. So I appreciate you guys. Other than that, I think that'll be it for episode 1, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Well, yeah, one more thing. I kind of want to give back to you guys, you know. So whoever's going to be subscribing to my channel, if you want to write in the comments, write your name and just say that you're a new subscriber, or DM me, and I'll go ahead and enter you guys into a raffle every month. So I'm going to have this wheel, and I'm going to put your name in here, and at the end of the month, I'm going to pull a name out, and whoever's name I pull out is going to get a personal vinyl record from my own collection, and I'll personally mail it to you guys. So make sure you guys keep up with the episodes, and again, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. I'll see you guys next week. Peace out, you bad mofos.